do.
The album was titled off the first track I finished for it, and it was called Room to Grow. And I looked at it, and I was like, it's just... The second thing I noticed is I was like, this is just, it's rap. And I'm like, that's great. I'm a pretty good rapper, that's fine. But everyone's heard rap. And I feel like there's two ways to be successful in entertainment. And that's one, you do what's popular, but you have to do it so well that you stand out from everyone else who's doing it. Or two, you do something completely different and hope it works. So now I'm working on that. I'm working on number 2.
So I'm assuming by that it's all bagpipes. Is this that's the direction?
Yeah, I got one track that's 40 minutes of didgeridoo.
It's just straight. It's Himalayan throat singing.
Yeah.
Mixed with Christian techno. It's a blend.
Yeah, it's a real
like Korean barbecue. It's a fusion. We call it music fusion with Wes Shatley, right?
Yeah,
that's the name of your podcast.
Music fusion. No, it's about time I got on a podcast. I'm privileged and self-important enough that I figure I should. How's this not happened?
Yeah, I'm a straight white man in Missouri. How do I not have? Well, it's not as much fun as you would think sometimes.
You know what's really cool about you can't tell watching online. We are actually in the mountains.
Yeah, we are. I know that it's just because online, it's the broadband, the bandwidth.
Yeah. I mean, if you
can't
had
see it. We are in the Grand Teton National Parks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we were just outside talking about how, growing up in a small town, kind of felt trapped.
Yeah.
But when I am in the city, I do miss the wilderness. That's the one thing. Like when I'm up here, I'm like, man, I wish there were more stars.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed that I wish the city had. But
yeah. I got to go to New York for the first time, city. And it was, in case you were confused.
Yeah. I was like, at first I was like, Buffalo?
Yeah.
But no, okay.
But it was one thing that stood out to me is the whole time I was there, I was like, I could live here. I was like, there's something so motivating about the move or die mentality of the whole city, which is pretty cool.
I do like the fast pacedness of big cities like that.
Yeah.
I liked that in New York when I went, and where else felt that way? San Diego is a big city, but it still feels laid back for some reason. I guess it's the beach,
Yeah.
It's still they're busy, there's some people are just going and going and going, and there's other people that are like, oh, we'll get there, just hang out,
Right.
So,
not all beach towns are like that. You go to Florida, and it's the beach is busy too, but it's...
Well, yeah, that's because they have meth.
Yeah.
It's weird what a beach plus meth will do. Anything plus meth is just energized version of what the original thing.
That's true.
Yeah, it's... But we, again, talking about our hometowns.
Yeah. Meth?
Yeah. We're from the meth capital of the world. Is that right?
Is it the world?
I thought it was.
I thought it was just a state. I didn't know we took the championship.
No, I think we competed. We're in the majors. I know that. I think it's all the horse manure, and so I don't know. There was something about that. I read something about that online. It was probably a headline, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And I did no checking whatsoever.
And now you're just gonna throw it out into the...
Yeah, now I'm passing it along to you at home. So
meth capital of the world.
Yeah, look it up.
Don't look it up.
I wish if I had a producer, that's exactly what he would be doing right now. He'd be like, hey, look it up. Where do we live?
I'm not, all I know, I watched one episode of Joe Rogan in preparation for, it's the only podcast I've ever seen.
It turns out he actually has someone behind the cameras in his studio. I thought he was just yelling it, and it happened.
Yeah, I thought Jamie was like Jarvis with Iron Man.
That's funny. That's good. So, thanks for coming in to do this, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And when are you releasing your album?
Okay, so it's right now what I'm promoting is a song that I released, I put it out just like on YouTube, and then I got contacted by a small record label out of Toronto called Eardrum Valley, and they were like, "Hey, we think that this has potential. If you wouldn't mind, we could do a proof of concept release with it." So what they did is they took it, they released it on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, and it's if I get enough streams, then they'll sign me to a larger deal, fund a whole project, so that I can work on. So I'm trying to promote that, get some streams going.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Send me the link, and
Sure.
I'll make sure when I post all of this, I can include
Yeah,
links to the song or whatever.
for sure. It's called The Riz by Wes Shatley. That's me. I didn't name it. The track was actually a big collaboration. The first one, normally I do like all my music alone. I used to like buy the instrumentals and do that. And then I started like, I want to produce. Like I want to. It's a lot more work, but it's so much better. The track itself is. This track in particular is like a funk rap mix. My goal for my next project is to have it's like a different blend of genres, kind of like you said earlier, but less Tibetan.
No, yeah. You know what? I don't know, man. You said you wanted to be different. I'm talking about Tibetan throat singing and maybe mixed with bagpipes.
Well, yeah.
It's never been done.
Yeah, that's true. And
Maybe there's a reason it's never been done, but it's never been done.
I think anyone who's tried to do it was like, no one can ever hear this.
You find out it's like that kind of combination of musical instruments or like music types, like Raises the Dead or something like that. They're like, well, there's a reason we banned this. You put it out, yeah.
We put them on opposite ends of the world, man.
Yes, you become the new the Oliver Anthony of hip hop,
Yeah.
whatever. And but it turns out your song is conjuring spirits. It actually comes out on Halloween, I think. So we're gonna go with best thing to get in your Halloween bag. Are you going for the chocolates? Are you going for the Kit Kats and the Reese's? Are you going for the sugary Laffy Taffy, Sour Patch Kids? Or are you way out of left field? Are you a weirdo? Do you go with the popcorn ball?
I always root for people putting drugs in Halloween candy.
I actually look for the ones with the razor blades.
Yeah.
Remember when they said that it was going to be the Ebola outbreak? Ebola blood got into the chocolate thing and got out and stuff, and everybody was like, "Oh no!" I remember being like, "That's so 1 in 1,000." Like,
that's not very unlikely.
Yeah.
Those odds are pretty.
Yeah,
I don't like
actually,
that.
All right, math isn't my strong suit. All right, have I ever told you about that? That's what I get. I should stick to metaphors, not ratios.
Right.
It's not my thing.
Candy wise, I don't know. I'm a big Reese's guy. Like, anything chocolate peanut butter, I'm for it.
Yeah. I think I gotta go. Skittles. Yeah. I love Skittles.
Yeah.
I do love Skittles. And Reese's, sure, they're pretty good. My biggest problem, here's my problem with Reese's, and this is why I don't like them in my Halloween bag.
Is that the correct pronunciation?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they're only Reese's when they're in PCs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, though. Maybe it's just Reese's.
I think it's just more fun to say.
Or we're just from Southeast Missouri, and we have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, here's my biggest beef with Reese's, okay?
All right.
Too much trash.
Okay.
Too much trash. You have the orange wrapper. You have the brown wrapper. You have the like white cardboard thing that goes underneath.
Yeah.
And if it's a 2-pack, well, now you've got 2 brown. Like, it's just, that's a lot. It's a lot of trash. Kit Kat, 1 wrapper.
That's true.
And I feel like you get more chocolate in the Kit Kat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you get like no peanut butter, which is
Well, okay. I mean, if peanut butter's how you get down.
I mean that's the only way I get down.
If that's what you're into, you know what I mean? But
here's my problem with like Skittles or anything sweet really is just like I could eat so many like Reese's and I'd be fine. But if I eat like a whole bag of Skittles, That sucks, man.
Yeah. Well, especially the older you get.
Yeah.
The older you get, the less sugary candy you can handle. Like, I remember when the first time I found out about Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, these sound. And I got like a couple bags or whatever, not bags, I don't know, like a handful or whatever.
Right.
And next thing you know, you've gone through half a bag, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Is this cancer? What is this? You know? And my kids can just eat them nonstop. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's actually a thing about kids is they can, like, they have a thing where they can like intake and process almost an infinite amount of sugar.
Yeah, you shouldn't let them, but
no, they can and should.
They can and should. Trust me, right before bed is usually best. Yeah. Does anybody like the popcorn balls? Did you avoid the house that gave out popcorn balls?
Well, it was always a shock, you know, because you never expected popcorn balls like the Spanish Inquisition.
You didn't expect it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
okay.
why the hell are you giving
right. Popcorn balls, the Spanish Inquisition of holiday treats.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or apples. Oh,
that's a cheap move.
It is.
That's a cheap move. You get voted out of the homeowners, man.
You're doing good.
Sure would be great if my tongue would work, you know.
But yeah, popcorn. But you know they're not bad. Did you ever eat one?
No, I don't think I ever given.
Never
it a fair
even
shot.
tried it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, best Halloween costume
of these three.
All right,
here?
Classic Halloween costumes.
Okay,
we're going ghost, vampire, werewolf.
Ooh.
I mean, as far as classics go, you know. Now, if you have another one that you think can compete with the big three.
The big three.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are the big three.
Yeah. Of these three, I'm gonna go. I think the ghost is the best. It's just so, like, last minute, so versatile. Anyone could be it. You can't mess it up, really.
I feel like that is the depressed answer. You know, like you
can say that about all my answers.
yeah, okay, fair point. But I just mean, like, if you have a kid and they're like, "Mom, this year I want to be a ghost for Halloween," it's like, oh wow, I didn't think things were that bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if a kid has no imagination like that, like that's a good college party costume because you could easily just take it off and be a normal human.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's a good, like, oh, I'm not too crazy into I don't know. Are you a big Halloween person?
I enjoy dressing up. I'm a big costume guy.
I've never gotten it. It's never been my thing.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Something about it. It just seems a little strange.
See, I couldn't get her to agree to do it with me, but this year I wanted my girlfriend and I to be two kids in a trench coat and just go into the bar, her on my shoulders, and just she's like, "Want alcohol, please?" You know, just something stupid.
Yeah, you guys are like walking like sideways. Like,
yeah.
You doing that weird look.
And then she's like, "Well, we can't do that all night." I'm like, "All right, so we have another costume underneath." And I decided Willy Wonka, Oompa Loompa. And then I just roll out of a trench coat as Willy Wonka. People would be like, "What the hell is your costume?"
Okay, yeah. I would too. If a man just like rolled out of a trench coat, hello, I'd be like,
yeah.
I think we gotta leave. I don't.
But yeah, ghost for what's yours?
I gotta go werewolf. I feel like ghosts are for depressed kids. Like if your kid wants to be a ghost, they need Lexapro.
Okay.
I definitely feel like the vampire is a sexual predator.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I feel like that's the vampire is an entire metaphor for like a sexual predator, because all they want to do is they want to like creep you out. They want to like get you to lower your guard. You know, they charm you. They get you like, oh, maybe he's just really nice. Maybe he's just European. Maybe that's why he smells like that. You know, whatever. And then they like come and they get close to you, and then there's that moment As soon as you let them trust you, they like attack.
Right.
They want to change you into their.
Yeah, it's like they're grooming you.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah. At least though, I feel like a werewolf tries to be a good person. You know,
Yeah.
29 days a month. He's like just Chad.
Just
you know,
yeah.
just he's like a delivery boy. He's like, I'm trying to make rent. I'm just trying to be a good person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then for like 12 hours on that 30th day,
Right.
when the moon's out, he goes a little nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he wakes up and feels guilt about it. So at least it's like that's his way of being like, hey, I'm wild, but I'm trying.
A werewolf
a
is
vampire's like, I will never change. You can't change me. I will change you.
Well, at least with that, you get like, what you get. You don't want to you could grow to genuinely trust Chad.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
If a vampire is a sexual predator, Chad has an alcohol problem. That's a werewolf. It's just like he's trying to quit, and then once a month,
yeah, he just relapses.
And then he wakes up.
But instead of beer, it's like human legs.
Yeah.
Man, so sad, Chad. But then the ghost. I mean,
and then the ghost is
just. I feel like a ghost is just a metaphor for like people that regret their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I never got to go to the mountains. Like,
can't say that now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do. I
Really?
do believe in ghosts. Yeah, I do. Because I grew up going to church, and if there's a Holy Ghost, that means there's got to be other ones, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Why would you specify?
Yeah, if he was the only ghost...
We just call him the ghost.
The ghost. But that adjective, holy, means that there's probably some unholy ones out there.
Right.
So I look at ghosts and demons and stuff the same way I look at fights. Like, if you go looking for them, you're probably going to find them.
Yeah.
And so I always like, we were on vacation recently, and someone in my family had, like, tarot cards.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, do you want me to read your fortune? I was like, nah. Nah, I'm good, man.
Really?
Yep, whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
You ever go to, like, someone's house, and they're, like, I don't personally believe in ghosts. But, like, sometimes growing up where I did, I go to people's houses, and then, like, you'd hear, like, a bump or something. And then the owner of the house is like, oh, that's our ghost. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Never lets up. So I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You think there's a ghost here?
No, I had a buddy who his parents, it was after we joined the military, and when we came back on leave, like, we would go hang out at his house, his parents' house, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was one night I was staying over, and all of a sudden there's like this noise of like a chair dragging.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? And they were like, oh, it's the ghost. And I was like, the what now? And they're like, yeah, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Like they had like religious medallions like over all the door frames and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
They fully believed it. And I believed it too. And
yeah.
I was like, okay. I don't know. I don't go looking for it.
No, yeah.
But that's the whole reason I don't go looking for it is because I 100% believe it's out there.
Right.
Do you have a what's the best like conspiracy theory? Are you into those at all, or is it
Well, like, I look at conspiracy theories like a TV show that should have ended a long time ago. It's like when I was growing up, it was like all about mythical creatures and stuff. It was like Bigfoot.
You think Bigfoot jumped the shark?
No, we went
like
season 1,
Days.
Bigfoot, season 2, Loch Ness, season 3, Bush did 9/11. How do we? We jumped the shark there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the conspiracy theorists. The writing, who's writing for the conspiracy theorists, like the Game of Thrones people.
I think it's QAnon.
QAnon. Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while though, I'll hear something about it that like any old TV show you used to like makes you want to tune in again. It's like, really, Kanye's guest starring this season? That's crazy.
Okay. What do you think is the best invention? The phone, the smartphone, the wheel, or indoor plumbing? I mean, because it's obviously one of these three and can't possibly be anything else.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna go with a hacky sack. But that's not an option.
Solid answer.
Yeah.
Solid answer.
But
Very influential to early human culture, I would say.
I don't think we would have got anywhere at all without the wheel.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I said.
Yeah.
That was my answer. I don't think that the phone is as influential as some people think.
Not as the wheel.
No. Exactly. But I'll debate you on this. I would say that we wouldn't be where we are today without indoor plumbing.
Well, certainly not. No, I wouldn't be this high up in a building after having just drank a soda.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we would. We would just pee off the ledge. If
Yeah.
there was no indoor plumbing, there would be a lot of open windows.
Yeah, throwing
like waist
buckets.
high windows. That's where that comes from. Where like you know how like if you're walking down a street with a woman, you're supposed to let her walk on the inside
Yeah.
because in the old days they used to pee in buckets and toss them out the window so it would land closer to the street, so it would land on the guy because usually there were like awnings over buildings
Okay.
where the ladies would walk. And so that was the whole thing. Like you were supposed to, and like taking your coat off to like let them step on a puddle was because there was like giant puddles of poop in the roads.
Jesus.
Like it was just so disgusting. So
It's
like
so much easier to be a gentleman now.
yeah, I know. No. You just have to like get in front of the sensor like slightly before her, and then the automatic doors open.
Yeah.
Up. You're like, oh, you're welcome.
Got it for you.
And they say chivalry's dead. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, the wheel is interesting because it's the easiest of the inventions. You can see a rock rolling down a hill and figure it out. It's like the least amount of work was required to do the wheel.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I feel like it might have, I mean, that's why it was early on, is because it's so simple to figure out.
Right, and fundamental.
Yes, and fundamental. However, if toilets, I mean, what if the very first wheel, they had just turned on its side and then decided they're like, we've made a toilet and they're just going to poop in the hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then we could say the opposite. It would be the opposite argument.
That's only if the
Did I
wheel
lose
was
you?
indoors
Did I
for
lose you?
starters.
Okay. That's true. But I do feel like the number of people, the life expectancy definitely went up
Yeah.
with indoor plumbing.
Yeah. And,
Because-
car accidents kill people every day, so it's probably going down because of wheels.
And there are 4 wheels involved in that, or sometimes 8. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes 6 if you hit a motorcycle or a bike. But,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. Like that. Very few toilets are involved in deaths, except for Elvis and then that one scene from the Boondock Saints. But
Yeah. I mean,
I would say that the toilet has increased life expectancy. Would we not?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Because that is when most of us are at our most vulnerable, is
Yeah.
in the bathroom. And
That's
so I
true.
would think, like, if we were still doing it outside with tigers and buffalo and, whatever, like, nobody wants to die while...
I feel like we pretty well cleared out the tigers and buffalo well before we had indoor plumbing.
If there were more people pooping outside, I bet you there would be more animals. I don't know. I think it would draw a crowd. I don't know.
Well,
at least bears.
It'd certainly draw people if you were just shitting in the street.
People would be like, "What's that guy doing?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a wheel at
This is a
home?"
Yeah, he's got a wheel.
Yeah. It's a callback. So, all right, you're into music. I'm not a huge musical person.
Really?
Right. But this is a couple of 90s albums that came out, right, when we were probably kids. I think I'm just a little bit older than you.
Yeah, I'm 28.
Yeah. So, all right. So we were right around in the same
You're just not going to share? All right.
ballpark. I'm 18. No, I'm 33. So,
Okay.
yeah. We're close in age. What do you think is the best album of the 90s? We got NSYNC, No Strings Attached, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, NWA, Straight Outta Compton, The Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die, TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool, and Nirvana's Nevermind.
All right. So, first of all, fuck NSYNC. Backstreet Boys forever.
Wow. I'm a 98 Degrees fan myself.
Oh yeah.
True to your heart.
It's
True to your heart.
You didn't even have to say that. I could tell by looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, this guy likes 98 Degrees.
This guy loves Mulan.
Nirvana has like, their big hits, and then like every deep cut sucks in my opinion. I really dislike most of Nirvana's discography.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming out swinging.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I got some bad.
Preach, King.
I'm gonna make people dislike me. I think Biggie's fine. It never resonated with me. I'm not the target audience. I think he was very influential, and I don't listen to it much beyond that.
You're not an African youth from New York City?
No, most of the black kids aren't African in New York City either.
Oh. Well, there you go.
The Chronic.
I feel like that took a weird
That
turn.
did take a weird turn.
Was that me? Did I do that?
I don't
was
know.
it not appropriate? I don't know what I said. All right. The Chronic.
Yeah, The Chronic. I like The Chronic a lot. Also, not the target audience, but I can appreciate. I appreciate the influence.
I don't think I was ever the target audience I mean, let's face it, NSYNC, No Strings Attached, that is for teenage girls. Crazy Sexy Cool, also probably for teenage girls, young adult women probably.
Yeah.
NWA. Yeah, definitely not.
What's that stand for?
Yeah, Neighborhood Watch Association.
Oh, wow.
Nirvana was for like grungy, angsty teenage boys, and I don't think I was ever really grungy or angsty. So, I mean, maybe I was. I did definitely.
You said you felt,
I mean,
you said you felt trapped in a town. And
okay.
Like,
all right. All right, Wes.
Nirvana's right up your alley.
Yeah, okay. No, I did, tell me I wouldn't sing a song from any one of these albums. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
These are just some examples. To be fair, I wasn't even allowed to listen to any of these songs as a kid because we were only allowed to listen to Christian radio.
Really?
Yeah. So
like,
I didn't.
NSYNC
A
is
lot
of
of
the
these
devil?
like went over my head until years later when I would go to friends' houses and they'd be like listening to something and I'd just be like, "What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. I like this." And then I was like, "Well, how come they're not talking about Jesus?"
Yeah. There's other things than Jesus.
What?
Here's the thing. I don't know albums very well.
Yeah, I don't either. I literally picked these pictures because I remember seeing them a lot. Like, I know that they're famous, but I can't tell you one song on any one of these. I mean, obviously, I think Straight Outta Compton is probably on the album called Straight Outta Compton.
That's fair to say. I think Nevermind. Did that have, what is it? Smells Like Teen Spirit?
I think so.
Okay. Of my favorite 90s groups, like Bare Naked Ladies, probably. Like, I'm a big...
Really?
Yeah, I love them.
Okay. Do you think... Wait, are they a one-hit wonder? Would you consider them a one-hit wonder?
What's their hit?
1 week?
Yeah.
Is that it?
1 week is...
It's been
1 week since you looked at me. Chicken to China to Chinese chicken. Yeah,
Exactly.
I love that song.
Okay. I don't know any others. I didn't even know the title of that. But...
they had If I Had $1 Million. That was pretty popular.
Oh, yeah. That's such a drastic change in song, I feel like.
Yeah,
right?
they had one of the lead singers left in like the early 2000s, and like their tone kind of shifted a little more serious, but they're still silly. I don't know. But I love musicians that don't take themselves too seriously. You listen to a lot of, whether it's rap or it's just, angsty Nirvana. It's just like this, like these guys aren't having fun. Like,
yeah.
You guys, like, do you guys not laugh or smile ever? Like,
well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I was like, well, I kind of feel like Kurt Cobain kind of stayed true to form.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I think maybe
not like that fucker Robin Williams.
You were like, don't you ever smile? I'm like, I don't think you did. I don't think you did. It didn't end well. I don't know. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hate it when I don't like it when anyone calls himself an artist.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just bothers me. Like, if you're like, hey, I'm a painter, cool. Sculptor, cool. Musician, comedian, actor, cool. But if you're like, I'm an artist, it's like, bleh.
I don't know about
Go
you,
away.
but I'm that way, but I'm also so quick to call another person an artist.
No.
Really?
No.
If I see like someone like has the passion and for the craft and is doing it, I'm like, that person is an artist.
I would say I would get more specific than that. I don't know. I don't.
Well,
Art is so weird because it's so subjective as to like what is art and what isn't art.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there, especially, I mean, hot take. There's a lot of people doing comedy that
Yeah.
maybe shouldn't be doing comedy, and it's like so I. Anytime somebody refers to themselves as an artist,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if you know what you're talking about. Like, I don't.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do other people call you an artist? That is cool. That's different. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that point. That if you call someone an artist, it's because you appreciate their art. If
Right.
you call yourself an artist, I hate you. Like, I
Yeah.
just like I don't know what to tell you. Like, just
Well, it's like what you're like. This guy needs to be more self-deprecating. Like he's too confident.
well, yeah.
Is
I
it a
guess
toxic confidence?
That's
Is
the
it
confidence, or that's the comedian in me, I guess. Is
Right.
that I'm like, no, whatever. Like,
yeah?
if
That's
people come up to me and they're like, dude, that was really funny. I'm like, oh, thanks. I messed up the.
Yeah.
Like that. I instantly am just like, no.
well, that's an artist's reaction to look at the. It is, man.
You said it, and I went, whoa.
To look at your product, the thing you made, and only see the flaws. That's every artist I know.
Back when you were talking about producing music, I'm producing this podcast.
Yeah.
And I spend week after week just looking at flaws. Like that.
Yeah.
Like every time I do it, I'm like, oh man, I totally forgot to do this. Like that, you know?
Well, that's because, that's the only thing in you that makes you strive to do better. If you looked at it and you're like, that's fine, then you would never get better. Why would you?
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. Look at you, pumping everybody up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you do it for yourself, or do you only do it for others?
What, pump people up? Or pump myself up?
Do you ever pump yourself up, or do you do it? Because I have that thing. Like, I'll do that for others.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, that joke's really funny, or hey, that, I really enjoyed this, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. But when I don't do it, I don't ever do it to myself. Are you good at that? Or?
I've in the last year or so, I've learned that like I'm a humble guy, but like I'm confident in the things that I know I'm good at. Like I know, like I'm an excellent writer. I just like in music or whatever I write, it's written well. If it's a joke, it might not be funny, but it's written very well. Mm-hmm. I communicate things properly, but it's and now I'm gonna fuck up. Now I'm gonna lose my train of thought.
I communicate things properly. I get it. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard because you forget sometimes that you're not just having a conversation, and then you're like, I just walked myself into a corner and I don't know how to get out of it. But
I will say,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. Your lyrics are really good.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a big fan.
I appreciate that. But other than that, like I'm not overconfident. I'm not like what's the word? Narcissistic.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of my own limitations, but I try to be realistic about what those are, and if I know I'm good enough for something, then I'm confident about it. So that's been a hard lesson to learn.
That's cool. It's good that you've learned that, though. I definitely struggle with that.
Yeah.
I do not have the confidence to think like, oh, I deserve this, or I deserve.
I don't think I deserve anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I deserve it.
Maybe I misread that. But I was like, oh man, I admire that though. There are people that I know that can say, yeah, hey, I'll do this show, but I'm only doing it if I get paid X.
Right.
And a lot of times people are like, okay, and I don't have that. I don't have that in me. Like I'm just like.
Well, a lot of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I find a lot of confidence is just like fake it till you make it.
I did I guess that's true. But I did a show this weekend, and It was over 300 tickets sold, $50 a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what we found out? We were not getting paid, and we got 2 expired pizza coupons.
Jesus.
And I didn't even realize it until I drove to the pizza place after the show with my buddy Julian. And I was like, well, whatever. At least we get a free pizza, and I'll take it home or whatever.
Yeah.
And I gave it to the guy behind the counter, and he's like, this is expired.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, awesome. So much fun.
Well, you got that exposure, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I pay you an experience.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Can my kids eat that? My kids can eat experience? Cool. Is the bank going to accept that when I have to pay my mortgage?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I will give you half of my mortgage, and the other half I'll give you my experience points.
I took out my mortgage, but my experience was collateral. So.
Okay. Which one of these is the best instrument? And I mean the best, like significance to humankind.
Okay, well, the guitar's out. You ever been at a house party with someone who has a guitar?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, like
It's the worst.
it ruins everything.
I took a trip to, well, I'm not going to say where, but I took a trip recently, and someone that I was traveling with had a guitar, and they were constantly just plucking at the strings, like
Yeah.
just like the tiniest little like doon, doon,
Oh,
doon,
yeah.
doon, 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 doon. And then like imagine playing like 26% of a song and then starting over and playing it over and over and over again, and it was just like, I mean, it was like Chinese water torture at one point, like just.
Oh, no, I get, I play guitar, and yeah, I don't play around people who don't want me playing guitar. That would be.
It's so wild to be like, hey guys, I know we're having a fun conversation, but just thought I'd strum a couple G chords for you. You know, like, ugh.
You want me to play this this song no one here has ever heard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guitar's out. See, now piano and drums is a tough race, man. 'Cause like, piano is such like a beautiful, all just like the whole thing's right there. It's laid out, a pattern of everything. It's so musical, but the drum, I think, that's where dancing lives, man. Like, that's where rhythm is. That's where,
man, words out of my own mouth, right? I hate the guitar. I think it's trash. I argued this with one of my last guests, and he thinks the guitar is the best. And I was like, there's no way. Piano definitely had there's a strong case for the piano. I respect your answer. It is beautiful. It is organized and laid out, black and white. Like, it makes sense. But the drums, there is nothing better than a drum. I mean, a drum is like primitive. You know what I mean? Like, a drum is it had to have been the first instrument.
yeah.
100%. I could see drum, and then maybe like ram's horn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like those are the two that definitely started first. And I guarantee you that there was a time where people were gathered around a campfire somewhere, and somebody just started like slapping his thigh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's percussion, baby.
I mean, that market, the
That's
campfire
show
market,
business.
has been taken over by the acoustic guitar, and we're not talking about
Oh
it
my
enough.
gosh. I know. I do agree with that. I hate the guitar, but it has invaded the circle.
Yeah, it's an
The
invasive
campfire
instrument.
yeah, it's an invasive instrument. It's not native to the population of the hang. Okay? A drum, if someone pulls out a drum, have you
Dude.
ever been hanging out around like a campfire and someone pulls out a drum and they just start kind of like keeping a little like rhythm going? Like, it's fun.
I would be
Everybody
worried
has a
that
good
someone
time.
dosed my beverage or something. I'm like, what am I about to
Oh my gosh,
experience?
is this a cult? What am I about to do? Next thing you know, you live in Montana and you just like knit fingerless gloves all day. You're
Yeah.
not sure why.
You know, I saw a post online that I really agree with. It said, a gentleman is someone who can play the acoustic guitar, but doesn't.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my new favorite saying. Yeah, if you can play but choose not to, it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now,
There's
but-
nothing classier than, I will say this, classy move is to like walk through a hotel like late at night,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone just goes and sits down behind the piano and starts like playing around a little bit, you're like, whoa, this
I'm
is
that-
like the coolest person that's ever lived.
I'm that guy. I know just enough piano to make you think I know piano.
Wow. You're like a Richard Gere in Pretty Woman, where like he clears out the dining room and just plays by himself.
Yeah, like I can play like How to Save a Life by The Fray, which is
Oh.
enough to be like, oh, that guy knows how to play. And then if I just
People will
leave,
be like, I recognize this song.
yeah. And then if you just get up and leave, people will be like, oh, I wonder
Do
what
you
else.
play that one song like really well?
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, pretty flow. I mean, I don't mess up.
Yeah.
Because it's the only one I ever play. So, you know.
So when I was in junior high, I took 1 year of trumpet, and the requirement for the class is you had to practice 30 minutes every day, and I didn't want to do that, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is in the beginning of the year, I found the longest song in the songbook, which just happened to be "Oh Canada," because it was like 3 minutes and 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to play it even 10 times. You know what I mean? I just would play it like 7 times or something, and
Yeah.
then that would be 30 minutes. And so it was pretty bad, you know. But by the time I got to the end of the year, it's the only song I'd practiced, and I was great at it.
Right.
And my parents they were so confused in the beginning. They're like, why do you only play
Canada's national
Yeah,
anthem.
why are you playing the Canadian national anthem in your room? And I was like, it's the longest song. I got to take up time, right? So the last week of school, he's like, we're going to have one more final or one more test.
Mhm.
And every week you'd have a test on a song, and how you did determined like where you sat in
Yeah.
the room. There's like first chair, second chair, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a big deal. And I was always like 10th or something out of 18 kids or whatever,
Right.
like towards the end. And the very last final we had was "Oh Canada." That's what the kids voted on. And I just sat there the whole time. I didn't even vote. And when it got to be my turn, man, I put like some jazz on there. Like I
Yeah.
spiced it up. I got all the way done. I finished. And the teacher just like I didn't even need the book. I was off book, you know, just like I was like doing like
You're
all
like-
kinds of stuff. And I remember the teacher was just like,
That's the
just
best
stared at
I've
me.
ever
He was
seen
like-
anyone play "O Canada."
he's
in my
like,
life.
it made me patriotic for another country. He's like, where was that all year? And I was like, I practiced.
I practiced.
I practiced. And he was like, okay. And then he moved me to first chair or whatever for
Yeah.
the last week of school. And I remember the girl that was in first chair was so mad at
Oh
me
man.
because she'd been there all year long, and then she was second chair, and I didn't even do it the next year.
Right.
Like she went on to do it for like the next 6 years of
Right.
school, and I just was like, I'm out.
Do you think you could still play "O Canada"?
Maybe
Really?
if I could see I don't remember what the notes were.
Yeah,
so like
that's
I
not
would have
important.
to like if I could see like A B B A C
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, I think I could remember. I think I could figure it out,
Cool.
but I don't know why I would. But
I wanna say one more thing about like in terms of musicians. While we may pick drum as the best, like most influential instrument, like I think a piano player is a much better musician than a drummer.
wow, I will. I'll fight you on this.
Will ya?
I'll fight you on this. Okay.
I don't think a drummer it is required of a drummer to know anything about music to be a good drummer, other than rhythm, just rhythm.
Well, then maybe I'm suited for this conversation because I also know nothing about music. I would say that any instrument you can play while wearing a tuxedo, not as difficult. Try playing the drums in a tuxedo. Have you ever seen a drummer after a concert? They've like bloody and sweaty and
Yeah, that's them in
Have you
public
seen,
too.
like,
You don't respect
Whiplash?
those people.
Like, yeah. Have you seen Whiplash? You can do
That's-
that in
yeah.
a tuxedo. You know what I mean? But like,
I think he was literally wearing a tuxedo.
was he? But I just mean like I picture. So when I picture a piano concert, I just picture one solo man on stage with like the most rigid posture you've ever seen,
Yeah.
and they're just like,
Yeah.
they're just doing this, and it sounds beautiful, sure, but they're not putting their heart and soul into it. Drummers are just like on drugs.
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's
like,
your defense of drummers, is they're on drugs.
They have to be, because it's like, you don't know what's demanded of me. They've just got Pedialyte going in one arm and
is it fair to just call a set of drums music? Just add a beat. That is music. There's no notes.
Yes. I will say yes, because when shout out LaCroix Church in Cape Girardeau, every Christmas they do a little drummer boy song.
Yeah.
And they get to a part where they have like just drums.
Yeah.
And on the stage, but then they had like drums, like bongo drums and like big, big drums that you play with your hands, all like around the audience as well. And they would play in like, I don't know any of these words, so it's like intervals, and then they came together at the end.
Okay.
And it was just like don't, like that. And the whole time I was just like, you can imagine just 300 white people just like like that. It's pretty legit. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out a bunch of Midwest Methodists. I don't know. Do you think a drum can just be a song?
I mean, yes, but also no. Like, it's so weird to have, like, the piano has all of the notes. Here's all of the notes you can play, and the drum has none. Like, there's no notes in the drum.
It's just beat or not beat.
It's just beat or not beat. That is the question. Every night.
To beat or not to beat. Yeah. Okay. Well, you've actually, the first time I ever met you, you were a bit bigger, and you've lost quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, I lost 100 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that all diet, or you exercise?
It was meth mostly. No, it's
meth mostly.
It was all diet pretty much.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even start it. Like, I started trying to run while I was at my biggest, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
And then I noticed dieting worked,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started running and actually working out, and then I got like a heavy labor job, and I was like, "Fuck working out! I don't need to do that anymore."
Yeah, that's true.
And then, I just started eating again, and then stopped dieting, and I stay about right here.
Well, you look good, man.
Thank you.
Okay, so the reason I bring it up is because I want to know, what do you think the best exercise is for the human body? Is it goat yoga, keg throwing, or professional ribbon dancing?
Just for the human body.
Yes, just a I mean, for
Are we talking about like longevity of life? Like, what's most beneficial for that?
I would say, what would you consider like peak human fitness? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Goat yoga? Like, what's a great example of like a good baseline of fitness?
I think cardio is what I'm trying to go for here. And none of these are screaming cardio. Ribbon dancing.
Ribbon dancing, I think, has a lot of cardio.
Yeah.
I almost wish I had a ribbon here just so I could be like, all right, go ribbon dance for 30 seconds down the hall. And I think after like a couple skips and some ribbon flicks, you'd be like, ooh, like.
Well, actually, in my ribbon dancing class in middle school, I practiced and got really good at O Canada.
Goat yoga would take endurance. I don't know.
In balance. Like, there's a lot of muscle control in goat yoga there.
Especially when you have a cloven-hooved animal.
For sure.
Walking on you and eating your hair.
And also, it'd be hard when you're on top of the goat instead.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. What about Highland keg throwing?
I mean, obviously, that's all strength. That's all.
That's brute strength.
That's brute strength.
That's brute strength. Yeah.
Which, in terms of like health, I don't think you need.
I think it's pretty useless.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. All right. Best dollar store: Dollar Tree, Dollar General, or Family Dollar?
Not Dollar General.
Not Dollar General?
I mean, what are we? Are you defining
Wow.
best as like
Yeah,
most
which
capitalist?
one's the best? Well, I mean, like, which one? Which one do which dollar's getting your dollar? You know what I mean?
Well, in terms of like where I live, there's only Dollar General, so
Yeah.
there's 3 of them in my town of 2,000.
You don't have a dollar. You don't have a Dollar Tree.
No Dollar Tree,
No Family Dollar.
no Family Dollar. I've never been to a Family Dollar.
That's where fights happen.
Oh, okay, so that one, that's my
Yeah.
choice.
Okay. Yeah. Family Dollar is wild. I feel like Family Dollar is not even in like a safe location. Like, I've talked about this with some people before, but it's always on like a dangerous intersection. It's always like you gotta immediately pull out of the parking lot and then start going like 56. You know what I mean? Like it's always some weird, like sharp turn,
Yeah.
and then you're on a highway. You know, Dollar General, they're fine. They're fine. They're everywhere. Like you
Well,
said,
it's like you
you're
go
from a
in-
small town and you have 3 of them.
Mhm.
They're everywhere. So, I mean, yes, they do kind of have the market cornered on that. However, you go in there and it's either completely bare or overstocked.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's it. There's no healthy. I've never seen a healthy Dollar General.
I think a Dollar Tree is like an underdog. I don't think enough people give credit to the Dollar Tree.
That's my choice.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I like the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree is not bad. I mean, all things considered, for the dollar,
Didn't they go up to like 150 or something though?
I don't know. They probably did. Something about a Dollar Tree. I like the green, I think.
Yeah.
And it somehow seems cleaner. Dollar General always has like wet tiles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the drop ceiling, there's always like
Yeah.
43% of the ceiling has wet spots.
Yeah,
And
just
you're
like
why?
yellow
Why does it
and
have wet spots? Or
black.
they're like missing.
Yeah.
You're like, this just opened up a week ago. How are they missing a?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't find yellow to be an attractive color.
No, it
Like,
doesn't
with-
scream stop here. But
But
it's better than the orange and red of Family Dollar.
That's true. You know, I actually prefer Walmart to Target only because of how I feel looking at the colors when I'm inside. Red just doesn't sit well with me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that might be the most controversial thing anyone's ever said on
Yeah,
this.
Walmart is better than Target.
You would go Walmart over Target?
I mean, not if I wanted to get something
I've-
that works, but if I
I
want to
mean-
feel better.
I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not, but I've taught my son that when you're looking for a girl, you marry a Target girl with a Walmart budget. Think about it.
Okay.
A Target girl, a girl that's like cute, wants to go, oh, look, seasonal pumpkin things. And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You know
There's
what I mean?
Starbucks inside of her.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yes. Marry a girl that produces cappuccinos
Yeah.
on the daily. No, you marry a Target girl, like she's cute, she's fun, she's pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she's got that Walmart budget. So like she still pinches pennies. Because Target's expensive.
Target is
I can't
pricey.
afford Target trips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My wife goes there. My wife goes to Target stores the way I go to like gun stores. Like she has to give me a talking to before I. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
what do
like don't
you know what I
don't
mean?
come
Like,
home.
Don't you can look,
Right.
but we're not. You know, that's I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example.
I don't
but-
know. Like my girlfriend, she's always like she's obsessed with Target. She's like, let's go to Target. When I'm in Target,
Mhm.
I'm like, there's not a whole lot different. Like fundamentally, like the clothes, I guess, are a better quality. Like,
And
but
that's debatable.
yeah, in general, like all the products are the same. We're selling the same crap.
Right.
So what's the big
It's
appeal?
It's Target.
It's Target,
They
man.
love it. They love it. It kind of reminds me of like when you were a kid and you go to Toys R Us
Yeah,
and it was just like we have all the toys. We have all kinds of different toys.
yeah,
And you could spend 10 minutes in the board games and then you go to the action figures, then the bikes, then the video games, then
Yeah.
the Legos. You know what I mean? That's Toys R Us is woman or Target is woman Toys R Us. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Does
don't
that
know,
make
but
sense?
it's still a department store. Like Toys R Us is toy focused. The whole thing's toys. Target
Yeah.
is just it's still like everything.
Yeah, but it's like crap for your house.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
It's
Yeah,
like,
they do have better decorations.
Yeah, I don't know. I I think it's all pretty useless, but you know what I mean? She probably says the same thing about the stuff I like. A butcher store, we have to have a talk before I go to the butcher store.
Oh man,
that's a big one for me.
yeah.
Because I always want to get like, oh well, if I just got a couple extra steaks, maybe I could have a party.
Maybe.
Maybe I could have the buddies over. Maybe we could grill out one night. That'd be fun, right?
I got 3 ribeyes. That's the making of a party if I've ever seen.
She's like, you spent $900 at the butcher. I'm like, I got T-bone. I got a 24-pound brisket. I'm like, I'll figure it. Fine.
Well, yeah, we have a friend.
Yeah, there's a long weekend coming up. Right? Okay, what about grocery stores? Which one's the best? Ruler Foods, Save a Lot, or Aldi?
I've never even heard of Ruler Foods.
Okay, it's a Cape thing. It's up here in St. Louis too, but
okay, just not where the poor folks live.
No, actually,
well,
I think
there's poor folks where
well,
you're
I was about to say, I think these are all about the same. I tried to get things that were in the same category. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I love Aldi, but you can't put Aldi next to, like, Whole Foods.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just not.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what? I think you could. Hot take, Aldi is better than Whole Foods. You heard of the Whole Foods?
I've never been in a Whole Foods, so I am 100% willing to back you. Aldi is better.
It's next level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive until you go to check out and they charge chicken salad is like $70. Oh, and you're like, what? Why? It's cage-free chicken. Like, well, cage it up a little bit.
Yeah. I love Aldi, and
that's a big one.
My answer used to be Aldi, but there's a Save a Lot pretty close, and I like Save a Lot quite a bit.
It's a sleeper, man.
Yeah,
it's a sleeper. Do you have a food giant where you live?
That's my mom, and you will refer to her as such. That
was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Food Giant was. I think maybe it's just a Kate Gerardo thing, but it was pretty good growing up. Like if you couldn't quite go to Schnucks,
yeah,
you could go to
Food Giant. Okay.
Yeah.
I went to when I was in New York. I went to Trader Joe's for the first time, and I was like, this place is amazing.
Yeah, I used to go when I lived in California.
Yeah,
it was all right.
I liked it. Like everything was like of good quality, but it was also pretty pricey.
Yeah,
and also I haven't answered. But
Whole Food is double
Trader Joe's.
Double Trader Joe's.
All right,
it's
why go? Like
I don't know.
I never ate healthy. I'm never gonna eat healthy. Like I don't.
Well, here we go. The Riz takes off, right?
Okay.
100 million downloads. That's not a number, but
yeah, I'm
dyslexic.
Breaking records.
Right, you're breaking the number system.
Yeah,
you downloaded so many albums, we had to come up with a new number. Okay. So 100 million downloads, right? Okay. You have unlimited money. You can go to any grocery store, high-end grocery store. Are you doing it?
I mean, I don't even know what's available. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in my heart, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to end up going to fucking Walmart and Dollar General and living that way.
I'm with you. I think that I would do the same thing. I think that I would probably like stay true to my roots.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm just doing Walmart. It's close, whatever. Until the first time I saw somebody try to like buy a flat screen TV with like 12 gift cards. And then I'd be like, I can't do this anymore, because I get so impatient in the checkout system.
Oh my God! If someone's like, I have a coupon, and then like it's expired, but there's like a workaround somewhere.
Oh my gosh! If we're in the express checkout, the like 10 items or less,
yeah,
and you pull out a checkbook, oh, you might not make it home. Like oh man, it drives me nuts. I get so furious in grocery stores. Because I just feel like it's just where the worst. I don't know.
I feel like I get worse at gas stations.
Maybe gas stations.
Yeah, because when that happens,
really?
It's like I need like 20 packs of these cigarettes. I need tickets.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna scratch it right here. Do you mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna scratch it and try to redeem it while I'm still in line. And everybody's lined. Just like, dude, come on.
He's like, do you mind if I do this? There's a line behind me.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so self-absorbed.
Plug everything again. Give me your social media.
Absolutely. At Wes Shatley that's my Instagram. Look me up. That's Wes Shatley, WESSHATLEY. The Riz is the song. I need you to stream, please. It's pretty cool. It's all like live instrumentation and stuff. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I will. Last thing I ask everyone before they get out of here is, what is the best way to fix this podcast? What could we do to improve our situation?
It's really difficult working with all this like electronics out in the wooded forest.
It is.
You should probably get rid of that rebel flag behind the camera.
Yeah.
Why'd you keep all of your hate and Nazi memorabilia right off camera?
Now people are gonna see, like, it would be funny if people actually could see behind there, and then now they're gonna think like, does he actually?
Yeah. You're going to have to do a behind the scenes where you take it all down and then show them that it's not there.
Yeah, I just turn the cameras around. That's the last 5 seconds of the podcast. It's just like, it's like, oh my gosh, he wasn't kidding. It's terrible.
It's horrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, no, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
This was fun.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. Wes Shatley, at Wes Shatley.
The Riz.
On the Riz. I think
Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream it. Except for, touch tunes, like in a bar, you can't buy me there. I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's coming next.
Not yet. You're the hip-hop Oliver Anthony. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to be that. Stop calling me that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. That's everything I'm
That's my
against.
Market. I'm trying. No, not really.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's great. I'll put the link in there and everything. And thanks for doing it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you, everybody.